Okay, what's going on out there, ladies and gents and Bayern Munich fans from around the world? So today, let's talk about my beloved Bayern Munich here in this video because, obviously I've been keeping up with all the Bayern news. Apparently, a Gravenberch, I heard, wants to leave Bayern, so that's what I want to talk about here in this video, just because so far the Gravenberch transfer, it really feels like another Renato Sanchez transfer, because as you guys remember, Bayern, they got Renato Sanchez in the summer of 2016 for, I guess, 40 million, if I remember correctly, especially after he had that incredible performance for Portugal at Euro 2016. So, of course, I was really hoping that Bayern were going to get themselves a midfield that can really, shape the fortunes of a club. But Renato Sanchez basically lasted less than 2 years at Bayern, and now it feels like that with the Gravenberch. It also feels like it's the same, it rings a bell, or it reminds me of the Renato Sanchez transfer, where it basically lasted less than a year or less than 2 years and all that stuff. And I mean, really, right now, the situation at Bayern, I don't know what the hell is going on with the club right now, because obviously it's been like barely a week, or barely even a week and a half, since we suffered our worst margin of defeat in the Champions League since Real Madrid absolutely embarrassed us at the Allianz Arena 4-0. Yep, that's right. That was the worst margin of victory, or the worst ever margin of defeat for Bayern in a Champions League knockout group stage. So honestly, man, Bayern have really got to get to work now, starting with the board. Can the board please do something useful and find ourselves somebody that knows how to run the club? Like, for example, Philippe Lahm, I think he would be more than suitable for the job. Like, I'm all for us getting Philippe Lahm. I don't know about you Bayern fans, but I would love for us to, give Philippe Lahm a job, maybe as a sporting director, or as a member of the because let's just say I personally think that Philippe Lahm, he'd do a way better job than Olivier Kahn, in my honest opinion, because obviously, I don't think Olivier Kahn is the right man for the job, and I hate saying this because, he's a legend with the club, single-handedly won us that Champions League in 2001, but if I'm being honest here, like, right now, I don't think Olivier Kahn is the right fit for the job, but that's the way how I see it. And with FC Bayern right now, it just feels like dark times could be ahead for Bayern if we don't get our crap together and if we don't start spending any money, because look what's happening now. Gravenberch wants to leave the club, and it really feels like that we have wasted his talent where we don't know how to either use him right. But yeah, the Gravenberch transfer is looking like the Renato Sanchez transfer again, which really sucks because I had high hopes with this transfer. He had some great games, but the way how I see it, he's got to start. Okay, if Gravenberch is going to remain at Bayern, then he needs to freaking start. Why does he not want to start is beyond me. But yeah, obviously next season, I imagine next season will be better because, Neuer's coming back, Muller's coming. Well, I hope he comes back. Like I said, man, I'm all for us bringing back Thomas Muller to FC Bayern because he knows the club very well, and I can't imagine Muller playing somewhere else besides at FC Bayern. So that's that. But regardless of the topic about Bayern that I'm talking about here in this video, I quite frankly have nothing much else to say here. Just, thought I had to come on here and talk a bit about my beloved Bayern Munich, because, I mean, really, we should be in competition for the Champions League. The fact that we got knocked out by City is pretty depressing, considering that basically the season now means nothing because, we didn't meet our objective, and instead we just slid backwards, and now we have to hope that maybe our board does the right thing and gets ourselves a forward, because obviously we tried doing the Mane experiment, and that turned out to be a big failure by Bayern. Obviously, when we got Mane, I was excited, but so far I think Mane is also on his way out of Bavaria in the summer. So yeah, Bayern, they really need to get to work, and starting with getting a goddamn forward. That's what Bayern need to freaking do. And if the board could do that to replace Lewandowski, just find a goddamn replacement for Lewandowski. I'd appreciate it. So that's all I have to say. See ya.